My name is Jason. I thought I would give you a short video introduction to me so you know a bit about my background, my connection to George Fox and my involvement with the programs that I teach there. I was born in 1969. I became a Christian when I was 17 years old. I had quite a dramatic conversion experience. Not long after my conversion experience, I had what we call in the UK is known as a gap year. I took a break between college and university for a year. I worked for a bank in London. Thought that would be good to have some work experience while I explored my new faith. Just after that, I went to university, seminary, and read a theology degree at a college that's now called the London School of Theology. And it's whilst I was there, I met my wife Bev, and we've been married since 1990. I've got 3 children who are currently 14, 12, and 10, and growing far too quickly. I came across the Association of Vineyard Churches whilst I was at seminary, got very involved in that denomination and helped out with several church plants, such that I went on to do a postgraduate degree in education and was a teacher briefly, essentially so I could be bivocational while helping with a church plant in Oxford. Then my wife and I moved back to London, and I had begun a career as a what we call an independent financial advisor or investment broker, and did that for about 8 years whilst helping out with another large church plant in London, and then ultimately the church that my wife and I now pastor, which we started in 1997, and I've been the full-time pastor of since the year 2000. We're on the southwest edge of London. About 300 adults, just over, and 150 children. We live in an area and an environment where 98% of the people around us on the edge of London have absolutely no connection to church, and that's proved quite challenging. So challenging that I ended up going back to seminary to do some master's research a few years ago, and ultimately led me to do a Doctor of Ministry project at George Fox University, and I graduated from there in May 2006. I had a great time at George Fox, and I'm sure many of you will have a great time there or are having a great time. So I have a great affection for George Fox, and it's a privilege to be asked back as an adjunct professor to teach from time to time. I'm also doing a PhD at the moment at King's College London, looking at the area of consumerism, in fact how consumerism functions as a religious system and the effects that has on the ability for Christians to share their faith and what the implications of that are for church. So that's a quick bit about me. Also another piece of information, I'm involved with a network called Emergent. Some of you will have heard of Emergent Village, headed up by Brian McLaren. I've been working with Brian McLaren for the last few years, resourcing churches in the UK and Europe. We've got a website and a newsletter that goes out to about 4,000 church leaders in the UK predominantly. I coordinate that. I also get to travel and teach and speak on many of the topics and issues that we're going to explore in this course together, on theology and church and culture and mission and ecclesiology and many other issues that are wrapped up within that. Also get to write various articles, and I'm currently working on a couple of books for Paternoster. So hopefully that's enough information about me to put me in context, and I'm looking forward to being with you and seeing you online and then at our face-to-face time.